Welcome, age of vintage society. Old soldiers don't die, they just fade away, or so the saying goes. But Audie Murphy didn't fade away, even if he tried his hardest to. Audie was more a soldier than an actor, and his story as one of America's finest and most decorated soldiers is inspiring. But did you know that it almost didn't happen? Why, Audie Murphy pulled a gun on his wife! Hollywood has a list of stars who led lives as soldiers or spies. There was Hayden and his merry band of spies, kicking German tushy while delivering war supplies to rebels. There was Josephine Baker, hiding sensitive World War II information in her bosoms. And now there was Audie Murphy, the man who became the most decorated soldier in World War II. Audie Murphy came from humble beginnings. His face didn't tell the story of how rough his childhood was. He had an innocent, boyish face, but within him was a man of steely resolve. When he was 16, the Japanese attacked America, dropping bombs on Pearl Harbor. Murphy decided to serve his country, but was rejected for being too young. It was a devastating setback, but Murphy, he was never one to give up. Just a few days after his 17th birthday, the man tried again and got accepted into the army. However, another setback lurked in the corner. The Marines refused him, and he tried with the paratroopers. They rejected him too. Their excuse? They said he had a small build and was short. The only option left was for him to become a cook and baker for the army. His company commander even wanted to send him to a cooking and baking school. The commander felt his boyish face and youthfulness would be better there. But Murphy, his heart was set. It was becoming a combat soldier or nothing else. Finally he got what he wanted. His path began when he trained in basic training for 13 weeks, and then was enrolled in Fort Meade, Maryland, to get advanced training. Still, while America fought overseas, Murphy had his battle with the army. After training he still wasn't shipped off for combat, but he made it known he was ready to put his life on the line for his country. Finally, the opportunity for combat came. In 1943, the army shipped him off to Casablanca, Morocco. Although nothing happened in Morocco except the actor got more training in advanced manoeuvres, then what he had waited for all his life finally came. Combat was on the horizon. The army shipped Murphy to Sicily, and he was part of the American forces who helped retake the region. He showed what he could do there and was promoted to corporal after preventing Italian officers from escaping. However, he didn't get to enjoy his promotion immediately. He had malaria, and for the rest of his career he battled with it. Still, there were many more promotions to come. His adventures in Italy weren't over. While on a night patrol in Salerno, Murphy and other soldiers with him ran into an ambush. The Germans had them pinned down in a rock quarry and sent reinforcement to take Audie and his men out. Bad idea. Back against the wall, the actor led his men to fight it out with the Germans, and they won spectacularly. The actor got another promotion for his efforts and became a sergeant. He also got Valor decorations too. Audie was a one-man machine. After his Italian heroics, his 3rd Division went to southern France to free France. There the actor suffered a personal loss. His best friend, Latty Tipton, died due to German treachery. A German soldier pretended to surrender and used the opportunity to lure Latty out to be taken out by machine guns. What happened next was absolutely crazy. Audie erupted in a massive fury and took down a crew of soldiers that took out his friend. He captured their machine gun and grenades and used them to decimate the enemy. His actions earned him the Distinguished Service Cross, an award second to the Medal of Honor. However, Audie's losses just began. Apart from losing his best friend, the 3rd Division lost 4,500 soldiers. The actor shrugged off his losses and battled on. He got more decorations, 2 Silver Stars, and was promoted to Staff Sergeant. Murphy became a platoon sergeant and soon became the leader of a platoon. He was as tough as they come, but even tough men caught breaks. The fearsome soldier eventually got wounded when a sniper bullet hit his hip. The injury took him out of action for 10 weeks, but he got promoted when he returned. However, the war wasn't done with him yet, and this time he almost died. A mortar landed and exploded nearby him during a battle. 2 soldiers died, but Audie survived and only got additional injuries from the explosion. Did Audie stay down after his injury? What do you think? No, he didn't. The next day he went full commando in the Battle of Holtzwihr in France. He sent his men to the rear and began to face off against German soldiers. Audie looked more than an action film hero ever would. The actor fired at the Germans, and when he ran out of ammo, he dashed into an abandoned armoured tank destroyer and shot at the enemy. No one was safe, and there wasn't a place to hide. Audie had become Vengeance, an unstoppable one-crew machine. Murphy got wounded as he sustained heavy fire, but didn't give up. He didn't know how to. He only saw the enemy and was determined to take them out. Eventually Audie stopped after almost an hour. The other soldiers came around and he launched into a counter-attack that chased the Germans out of Holtzwihr. For his heroics he got a Medal of Honor, but had to leave the front lines. The actor got a desk job as a liaison officer. Also he got a Legion in Merit for his service as a soldier in the 3rd Infantry Division. The French government also awarded him with the Legion of Honor, Grade de Chevalier, and 2 Croix de Guerre medals. Audie also got a 1940 Palm from Belgium. Within his 29 months in the army, Audie had quite the experience. He braved waters, faced and destroyed German tanks, and was outnumbered and injured. However, it never occurred to him to seek a discharge. When Germany surrendered and the war ended, Audie had to return home. He arrived as a hero in Texas and got parades and banquets. His exploits made the papers, and he got on the cover of the July 1945 issue of Life magazine. The hero was discharged from the army and hoped to settle into civilian life. However, his homecoming wasn't the warm return he must have thought he would have had. The war ended, but Audie had his demons to fight, and they were as stubborn as he was. Audie Leon Murphy was born in Hunt County, Texas on June 20, 1925, to Emmett Berry and Josie Bell Murphy. Murphy was the 9th child of 12 and grew up in a poor household. His parents were sharecroppers and they struggled to make ends meet. The matter wasn't helped by the fact Emmett wasn't a responsible father, so the star had to drop out of high school to help his parents on the farm. While his mates were at school, baby-faced Andy was picking cotton and ploughing the fields for $1 each day. When he wasn't working on the farm, he hunted rabbits and other small animals to help put food on the table. Hunting allowed him to be skilled with the rifle, and it prepared him for a future as a soldier. The actor also found work at a filling station and combination general store in Greenville, Texas. His father abandoned the family when the going got tough, and a few years later his mother, a sickly woman, eventually passed away. Like that, Murphy and his siblings were all alone. Those that could find work went to find it, and the family took the youngest 3 to an orphanage. Audie went on to join the army, where he grew to become a legend. When Audie returned from World War II, one of the first things he did was to go to the orphanage for his siblings. The soldier bought a house and put his older sister Corinne, her husband, and 3 children there. He planned that the siblings in the orphanage would live with his sister and her family, but life had other plans. When he was discharged from the army, he was pretty popular. His face made Life magazine's front page, and the reputable James Cagney saw it. James knew a star when he saw one, and was sure Audie had what it took to become one. Hollywood loved youthful-looking, handsome men, and Audie had that in abundance. He also had a soft voice, and best of all, he was the country's hero and a highly decorated World War II soldier. Cagney signed the actor to his film company, but all through the time Murphy was with Cagney, nothing of note happened. For more than a year, Audie didn't make any money, and as a result he couldn't support the siblings he put with his oldest sister. He had to take them away. One found a home with Murphy's oldest brother. The other got accommodation at Variety Club's International Boys Ranch through James Skipper Cherry, a Dallas theatre owner. Murphy talked to the man about his sibling, and he agreed to help. Eventually Audie had to move out of James's house, and his first significant role came in 1947, when he got a small part and acted alongside Alan Ladd with Donna Reed in Beyond Glory. Audie was a hit with the critics, and like that, he was on his way. James Skipper Cherry helped him on his path. Variety clubs were financing the film that would be Bad Boy, and Skipper had an idea. He thought Audie would be great in the movie in a major role. Skipper called the producer, Paul Short, to ensure Audie got the part. The producer got Audie to test for the screen, and the results were fantastic. But as everything was in Audie's life, it didn't come easy. He faced stiff resistance from the Allied artists, who felt Audie didn't have star power. Well, Short and Cherry, those two men got other financiers to support them and threatened to quit financing the film. Audie got the part, and he made perfect use of it. The actor exploded in 1949 as a true star and got a Universal Studios deal due to his fantastic performance. That same year the actor released his book, To Hell and Back, which detailed his World War II experience. The book became a bestseller despite the actor trying to downplay his achievements in the war. Universal Studios wanted to make a movie from it and tipped the actor to star in it as the lead. However, Audie didn't want to be part of the film. He acted in similar films like The Red Badge of Courage, but avoided To Hell and Back. Audie felt if he starred in the movie, it would be as if he was trying to profit from his experience. However, Universal insisted, and eventually the actor began to reconcile his conflict and starred in the film. It was glorious. To Hell and Back was sensational and also a box office success. It was Universal's biggest movie in all of its history up to that time, and it was only 20 years later, in 1975, that another film, Jaws, by Steven Spielberg, surpassed it. Audie had become an icon at the cinema. Just like he conquered the Germans in the war, he conquered the cinema. However, his life wasn't completely smooth. Murphy had left the war, but the war didn't leave him. He had post-traumatic stress disorder, and it negatively affected his life. The man couldn't sleep, and when he did sleep, he had nightmares of the battles he took part in. It got to the extent that he slipped in and out of depression. The situation worsened for him, and his marriage to his first wife, Wanda Hendricks, didn't last long, a little over a year, and they divorced. Wanda said the actor was a disturbed man, and at some point he pulled his gun on her. There was also when the man allegedly pulled his gun on a dog trainer and shot at him. However, when the matter got to court, he was cleared of any crime. Despite this, Audie went to enlist in the Korean War. He was a part of the 36th Infantry Division of the Texas National Guard. However, he didn't see action in this war, but got promoted to major. His PTSD got worse. To function, he visited a doctor for sleeping pills, because he needed it to sleep constantly. Audie became addicted. He didn't want to be addicted and put himself through hell and back to fight his addiction. Murphy got a room, locked himself there for a week, and battled his addiction. The actor was always in one battle or another, and his next enemy was the taboo of speaking about war. Audie talked about how the war affected soldiers' mental health and revealed that he faced his own issues. The soldier challenged the United States government to study the impact of war on soldiers and wanted the government to make provisions to treat mental health problems veterans had. The actor remarried and continued to struggle with his mental health. His second wife, Pamela Archer, was an airline stewardess turned nurse, and together they had 2 children. Unfortunately for the actor, he picked up some bad habits of gambling, and he gambled his fortune away. The one he didn't gamble away he lost to the bad investments he made. Racing horses would be one of the things that the actor would regret, as it almost destroyed him, something World War II couldn't achieve. After a period of being a box office magnate, the soldier-turned-actor was on the brink of ruin. He got saved from the embarrassment that would have come from his financial ruin. However, the cost of his salvation was high. Audie died. The man had not been as in demand as he once was. After completing his film, which, we kid you not, was titled A Time for Dying, the actor got on his plane and died. His pilot was not qualified to fly the type of plane Murphy had, and the weather was terrible. The aircraft crashed, and Murphy, the pilot, and 4 other people died. The actor died at the age of 44. He got a hero's burial at Arlington National Cemetery. George H.W. Bush was the government representative for the burial. Even in death, the actor wanted to remain low-key, and before he died, he requested that his grave be plain. While his grave was plain, an unknown person placed a US flag near his grave. The Audie Murphy Memorial Veterans Hospital in San Antonio, Texas, was named after him, and a bronze statue was commissioned for him. In addition, he even got a day named after him. Murphy fought all his life, and as a result of his exploits, he hasn't faded away. Up next, we have a heart-wrenching tale of a creative genius betrayed. Join us as we delve into the tragic life of Orson Welles and uncover the shocking truth behind one of Hollywood's most enigmatic figures. Click on this video now.